Hello, welcome to day 22 of the Gospel according to Child Protection and Safeguarding. How are you doing? Do you know where your children are? Do you know what your children are doing this very minute? And the decisions you are making today, how are they affecting the lives of your children? Remember, I said that I was going to tell us the flip side of the story I had shared on day 21. Still talking about marriages and decisions. As always, we start with a quote. Staying together without love, respect, or healing can teach children endurance, but it can also teach them that marriage is merely survival. Some marriages do not break in the storm. They slowly drift into silence. The tragedy is not always divorce. It is living as strangers under the same roof. Children need more than two parents in one house. They need to witness dignity, kindness, and healthy relationship skill. The last quote. The decision to stay should be a commitment to heal, not merely an agreement to coexist. I said I was going to tell us the flip side of the story I had shared. Now, we had these couple, amazing young man and woman, okay? They got married, coming from their own baggages from his father's side and mother's side, and the lady had her own issues. Now, digging further to the root cause of certain issues, on the man's side, it is said that his grandfather married several women, divorced them, but kept marrying several women. His mother, her mother, and her grandmother suffered from an abusive marriage. So this is where the man is coming from. The lady comes from a privileged background. However, her mother was the other woman outside. She comes from a privileged background. Her mother was the other woman outside. They come together. Of course, we always say, what are the questions you ask when you want to get married? What are the stories you share? What is your spiritual journey like? What is the plan for the children? What exactly is this institution called marriage, and what covenant are we about to embark on? Sometimes we ask this question, sometimes we don't ask these questions. We just say when we get to that bridge, we cross it. What if we never get to the bridge? What if there are no bridges for you to cross? Why can't we talk about certain things and try to mitigate them or find a solution? So they get married. Going on well, the husband was doing okay, the wife was doing okay, and then, as always, we go through the ranks. Every now and again, they had their ups and downs, but this is where the issue is. The woman is the heavy lifter in the house. What do I mean by the heavy lifter? She brings in more revenue than the man does. The man has investments. Of course, they don't pay rent because they live in the house that he bought. They have cars. I mean, he has certain things that are going on for him foundationally. But she is the heavy lifter because his business is not so okay. Guess what? The man is treated as a king, as always. Respect, because it's part of their culture. But the woman found out that she was not only bringing in the revenue, but she had to also do a lot of domesticated chores that involved the man. but he never agreed to do it. That was one. She complained so much about having to take initiatives in the house. The man didn't. I mean, it's his house. I mean, I've given you a house. A woman's job is to maintain the house. So what's the point? Just asking for money, I'll do that. And in fact, you have the money so you can do it. So the generator will go bad. She will look for artisans. She will fix it. There'll be plumbing issue. She will fix it. There'll be issues with the fridge. She will fix. Pumping machine. She will fix. Car. There'll be issues with the car. She will fix. So one day she goes out and then the car gets bad and she calls her husband to change the tire. The man said, find somebody on the road to help you change the tire. I think that statement shifted something in her head. Right. And she came home, she cried, she was shouting, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this. Bear in mind, they have 3 children. And this couple, they're not young. Their children are just about to finish secondary school and get into university. Now, this issue has been brewing for the past 3 to 5 years. And so they went to see a counselor. And they both decided that for the sake of the children, they were going to coexist and live in harmony till the children were mature enough to be told. So what they did, remember the reason for her decision and many other things that cannot be mentioned. The man, obviously, in the course of going for therapy and counseling, started to see his blind side and started working towards changing. The children were shielded from some of these things that we're talking about. They didn't get to see any of this. They make sure that the children did not see it. They had the best father and mother if you ask them till date. They shielded their children from this. The man began to change. Remember, the woman had said, I am leaving this marriage. I'm not going to be here anymore. However, for the sake of the children, they sought counseling and they decided to coexist. And so months went, it's getting to 1 month, it's getting to a year, it's getting to the 2nd year, the 3rd year, they're still coexisting. They are married, but they're in their mind, they are separated. Now, the 3rd child, which was the last one, was about to get into university. The first son was about to graduate. The middle child was in her 3rd year or 4th year, something. And then they tell the children, they bring them together and they sit them down, they tell them the story and they say, this has been happening and we did not want the effect of our decision to affect any of you. The father says, I love your mother so much. In fact, since we went on this journey of coaching and therapy and counseling, and the last one said, so all the times that people say you're going out or you're going to church, you know how children can talk. All the times that you say people are going to church and you're going out, so it's therapy and counseling that people have been going for. And they laughed. And he said, in the last 3 to 5 years, going for counseling, I have come to appreciate your mother better. I have come to see her values and I have come to see all of my blind spots, all of the mistakes that I have made. But we've already made a decision that we're going our separate ways. If your mother would have me back, I don't mind spending the rest of my life with her. And that is the reason why I am having this conversation with you, because I believe that you all as children are now more mature to understand this. The mother comes and says her own. You know how women can be a bit... She was making shakara. I don't know what your father is saying about me coming back. However, And the daughter goes, Mommy, yes, this has been happening. Your dad did this, your dad did that. Mommy, that was in the past. Can we speak about the effect of what the counseling has done? Oh, well, I should have spoken more. I don't communicate properly. I'm always bottling stuff. And when I bottle stuff, I implode. And then that's when, I begin to act out. So she has delayed expression. The father would have done something she would express later. And so I'm not sure about coming back to stay in this marriage, but your father, yes, he has improved and all of that. And there were many cries and tears and all of that. But fast forward to this day that I speak to you. They've all graduated. They are all doing well. This couple in question, they are married, still married. They tackled it before it went south. They made a decision. They shielded their children, which I thought was a fantastic thing to do. It might not work in some cases, but here it did work. And they made a decision to stay together. They walked through their process of their mistake, and then here they are. And yes, just 2 years ago, they welcomed their first grandchildren. They had twins. It could have gone worse. It could have gone worse, but they made a decision to make it work. All in the best interest of their children, because they were told that whatever decision they make today will have an impact on their children. I know a lady who swore that she would never be like her mother. In fact, she only recently started talking to her mother a couple of years ago, because she said, I watched you become less of yourself because you allowed certain things. And I told myself, I don't want to be like you. The decisions we make as parents has a huge effect on our children. So, with that, I'll leave you with this charge. Children are watching more than our marital status. They are learning how to communicate, resolve conflict, express affection, handle disappointment, and show respect. A home filled with coldness, hostility, avoidance, or emotional distance can shape a child's understanding of relationship just as deeply as divorce can. If your marriage is struggling, the goal shouldn't simply be to stay away or to, that shouldn't be the first thing. You should walk towards healing, seek counsel, pursue forgiveness, try to rebuild, except it is detrimental to your life. Then you can walk away. But for the best interest of the children, try to seek counsel and get it right. I'll see you tomorrow for day 23. Goodbye.